Picnic day. Today, Peppa and George are very excited because the family is going on a picnic. Mommy Pig and Daddy Pig are ready too. The whole family gets in the car. Peppa loves going out, and so does George. Daddy Pig spreads the blanket, and Mommy Pig puts down the picnic basket. Peppa chases a pretty butterfly, and George runs after his sister. Peppa tries to catch the butterfly. On a sunny day, my sister and I decided to go for a walk. Yahoo! The two sisters put on their hats carefully before going for a walk, so the sun wouldn't shine on their heads. Suddenly, a big gust of wind blew Sister's hat away. The big sister burst into tears and cried loudly. The little brother went to get help. The giraffe agreed to help the two siblings. Surprisingly, the giraffe was a magician, so he helped the big sister get her hat back very easily. The two siblings were very happy to get their hat back. One clear morning, you and I were still fast asleep. Suddenly, a friend showed up and knocked on the door. Our close friend smiled and said, "Let's go for a walk, you two." Suddenly, a mysterious object began to leak. It turned the white rabbit pink. Hey! Luckily, the strange object managed to retrieve the leaking item just in time. Yippee! Peppa's colorful day. Today is a sunny morning, and Peppa and George are full of energy. They've decided to do something very fun, painting outdoors. Sheets of clean white paper are spread out. Paintbrushes and colors are ready to go. Peppa picks pink, and George chooses green, his favorite dinosaur color. Peppa starts drawing a big pink house with smoke coming from the chimney. George paints a roaring dinosaur. But soon a bit of paint splashes on the ground, a little on their hands, and a little on Peppa's cheek. Before long, their painting isn't just on paper anymore. It's on the table, on their clothes, and even on Daddy Pig. As the sun begins to set, Peppa and George admire their colorful masterpiece. It's not just a painting. It's a memory full of laughter and fun.
Wow! Whoa!
Peppa's balloon. Today, Peppa has a beautiful red balloon. She loves it very much. She hugs it, bounces it, and runs around with it. But the balloon is very cheeky. When Peppa lets go, it floats up into the sky. Peppa jumps high, but the balloon goes even higher. Peppa has an idea. She gets a chair to stand on. But when she climbs up, the balloon floats even higher. The chair wobbles, and Peppa wobbles too. At last, pop! The balloon gets stuck in a branch and then falls down. What luck! The balloon is back with Peppa, and this time she decides to hold it very tight. Peppa and the colorful balloons. Peppa walks into the garden and sees a bunch of colorful balloons. Peppa opens her eyes wide and runs closer. George runs after her, looking curiously at the balloons. Peppa gently touches the balloons. George points at the blue balloon and smiles. Peppa gives one balloon to George. George hugs the balloon and runs around. Peppa throws a balloon into the air. Peppa and George look up, surprised. Daddy Pig comes out and sees the balloons floating high. Daddy Pig holds the balloon strings tightly. Peppa and George jump up happily. Peppa and George play together with a bunch of colorful balloons. The whole family laughs happily. Peppa Pig in the flower basket. The garden in front of Peppa's house, with gentle sunshine. A small basket is placed on the grass. Peppa bends down to look at the basket and smiles. George stands beside her, curiously looking into the basket. Peppa gently picks a flower nearby. Peppa places the flower into the basket. George points to another flower. Peppa and George pick a few more small flowers. The flower basket slowly fills up. Peppa sits down and admires the flower basket. George giggles. Mommy Pig stands nearby, and all three are happy together. The Pig family arrives at a farm to try being farmers for the day. We're We're going to be farmers and take care of the plants, Peppa says. Everyone gets ready to start working on the farm. Peppa and George start watering the plants. I'm going to water the plants so they can grow big and strong, Peppa says. George helps his sister by watering around the garden. Peppa and George begin to pick ripe tomatoes from the garden. Look, our tomatoes are ready, Peppa says. The pig family continues to pick vegetables and put them in their baskets. After a hard day's work on the farm, the pig family sits down to enjoy the vegetables they just picked. We can eat what we've grown with our own hands, Daddy Pig says. Everyone enjoys a meal and feels proud of their hard work. After a hard day's work, the pig family sits down to rest. Being a farmer is fun, but I like playing more, Peppa says. Daddy Pig laughs and says, helping on the farm is good, but playing is fun too. The whole family laughs and feels proud of their work. Peppa and the leaf on her head. Peppa walks slowly in the garden. A leaf falls down from above. The leaf gently lands on Peppa's head. Peppa doesn't notice and keeps walking. Peppa stops and looks around. The leaf on the head gently wiggles in the breeze. George runs over and looks at Peppa's head. George points and giggles. Peppa reaches up to her head, but can't quite reach it. The leaf falls into Peppa's hand. A gentle breeze blows. The leaf blows away from Peppa's hand. Peppa and George watch it fly away and smile. The leaf swirls gently and falls to the ground. Peppa picks up the leaf and places it on George's head. George stays still for a moment, then smiles. Peppa laughs happily. Peppa Pig and the Blooming Flower.
Wow!
One warm afternoon, the Peppa family was gathered happily together. Daddy Pig suddenly had the idea to take everyone out for an adventure, and the whole family agreed with excitement. They stepped outside and found a cart full of colorful balloons. Each of them picked a bunch, and as soon as they held the strings, the balloons lifted them gently into the sky. While enjoying the magical ride, a chilly breeze blew by, carrying them over a tall mountain. Everyone laughed with joy, their happiness echoing through the air. Peppa and George were amazed when a giant ball rolled toward them. The ball was too big, but Peppa didn't give up and decided to push it. The rolling ball created funny circles, making Peppa laugh non-stop. George joined in, helping Peppa to control the giant ball together. When the ball hit a puddle, huge splashes sprayed everywhere, making them laugh even more. Finally, they realized that sometimes the greatest fun is just a giant ball and your own laughter. Go to a restaurant.
Yahoo!
Today is a very fun day. Peppa, George, and Daddy Pig are going out. At the cinema, Gerald Giraffe has just finished watching a film and meets Peppa's family.
Hi!
George is starting to feel hungry. Gerald Giraffe has an idea. They will all go to the restaurant. Hey!
Come on, let's go!
The mysterious gift box. Today, Peppa and George discover a pretty gift box sitting in front of their house. The box is tied with a shiny red ribbon. Peppa and George are very curious, but who could have left it there? Peppa gently taps the box. Oh, it wobbles as if something inside is dancing. George decides to sit on the box, but then it makes a funny boink 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 sound, and they both burst out laughing. Suddenly, the ribbon comes loose, the lid pops open, and inside, not toys, not sweets, but a bunch of colorful balloons that float up into the sky. Peppa and George happily chase after the balloons, giggling all around the garden. What a wonderful surprise from the mysterious gift box. Library. Today, Peppa and George are going to the bookstore. Come on, family, let's get in the car. Peppa and George really love going to the bookstore. There are so many books to choose from. Peppa picks a princess book. And George chooses a dinosaur book. Peppa Pig and Daddy Pig's hat. Daddy Pig sits on a chair in the garden, wearing his familiar hat and holding a glass of water. Peppa and George are playing with a ball nearby. Daddy Pig stands up to water the plants and accidentally leaves his hat on the chair. A gentle breeze blows by, and the hat gently wobbles. Peppa sees the hat and walks over curiously. Peppa tries on the hat. It's too big and covers her eyes. George giggles. A stronger gust of wind blows through. The hat flies off Peppa's head. Peppa and George run after the hat. The hat lands right in front of Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig bends down, picks up the hat, and puts it back on his head. Peppa and George run over, see Daddy Pig wearing his hat, and laugh loudly. A hot, sunny afternoon. My sister and I were talking and decided to go to the pool to beat the heat. And off they went, all excited, heading to the swimming pool. They arrived and saw their friend happily splashing in the water.
Hey, hey! Okay, let's go!
The little sister jumped into the pool, splashing around happily, while the big sister relaxed and sunbathed on a colorful chair. One clear morning, you and I were still fast asleep. Suddenly, a friend showed up and knocked on the door. Our close friend smiled and said, "Let's go for a walk, you two." Suddenly, a mysterious object began to leak. It turned the white rabbit pink.
Hey!
Luckily, the strange object managed to retrieve the leaking item just in time. The super fun race day. Today is a very special day. Peppa and her friends are getting ready for the super fun race. Everyone wants their vehicle to look shiny and go as fast as it can. Everyone is in position. The wheels are wobbling with excitement. 3, 2, 1, and off they go. Oh dear, a giant muddy puddle. No one expected the race to get this splashy. Peppa rides straight through. Splat! Mud flies everywhere. George tries to keep his balance, and Susie goes around the puddle. Everyone bursts into laughter. The race is over, but the fun isn't. Peppa and her friends have learned that the best part of any race is enjoying it together. One winter night, while Peppa and George are sleeping, snow begins to fall. A cold breeze wakes George up, and he calls Peppa to come outside and see the snow. The two quickly put on their warm clothes and run into the yard. To their surprise, there is a sparkling Christmas tree and a beautiful snowman. Peppa and George happily go over and build another snowman together, laughing and playing with joy. Peppa and the Funny Clouds. On a gentle afternoon, Peppa and George lie on the soft grass, gazing up at the wide blue sky. A long cloud drifts by, curling into the shape of a dinosaur. Its funny form makes the afternoon more exciting. Right after, a puffy cloud grows big like a multi-layered cake, glowing softly under the sunlight. Next, a cloud stretches into an elephant shape, as if blowing a cool breeze that makes the leaves tremble. More clouds appear, forming hearts, trains, whales, and even a cloud that looks just like Peppa, turning the sky into a playful painting. As the sun begins to set, the clouds shift to warm shades of pink and orange, ending a magical and imaginative afternoon. Peppa Pig and the Mountain of Bubbles. Today, Mummy Pig is washing the car, and Peppa and George discover lots of bubbles. Wow, look at that! A giant mountain of bubbles! Oh dear, Daddy Pig looks so funny as a bubble snowman. Playing with bubbles is fun, but playing together is the best fun of all. Peppa Pig and the Little Round Ball. In front of Peppa's house, with gentle sunshine, a small round ball slowly rolls into the yard. Peppa stands and looks, tilting her head curiously. George sits behind, watching the ball. Peppa bends down and gently pushes the ball with her hand. The ball rolls toward George. George happily stands up. George kicks the ball a little too hard, and the ball rolls faster. The ball rolls past Peppa, and Peppa runs after it. From a distance, Daddy Pig watches. Peppa stops the ball. Peppa gently kicks the ball toward George. George catches the ball and laughs loudly. Daddy Pig appears, and the whole family laughs happily. Peppa Pig and the ball rolling in the wind. The ball lies still on the grass. A gentle breeze blows. The ball slowly rolls away, even though no one touches it. Peppa widens her eyes and tilts her head as she watches. Peppa walks after the ball. Without running fast, the ball rolls slowly, changing direction with the wind. George runs over and points at the ball. Just in time, Peppa catches up too. Peppa gently places her foot on the ball. Peppa gently kicks the ball over to George. George gently kicks the ball back to Peppa. Peppa kicks the ball too hard, and it flies up. Peppa and George run after the ball. Peppa hugs the ball in her arms. Peppa turns to George and smiles happily.
Whoa! Aha!
Peppa and George are inside the house. Peppa holds a sheet of blue paper. Carefully, she folds the paper into the shape of an airplane. Beep, beep, beep. Peppa makes the sound of a plane taking off. Peppa gives the paper plane to George. George smiles widely. He holds the plane and runs around the room. Whoosh, whoosh. George makes the sound of the plane flying in the air. Peppa claps her hands to cheer on her little brother. George runs near the window. He throws the plane. The plane flies out the window, loops around once, and lands on the green grass in the garden. Peppa and George watch in surprise. Peppa and George run outside into the garden together. They look everywhere for the paper plane.
Oh.
Hooray! Hooray! George shouts when he finds the plane on the lawn. They both pick it up and run back inside the house, laughing happily.
Peppa learns about flowers. Today, Peppa and George are going to learn about flowers. They walk into the garden and see many colorful flowers. Peppa points at the bright red roses and says, "These are roses, so beautiful and fragrant." Peppa sees the tall sunflowers, bright yellow, always turning towards the sun.
George points at the colorful tulips. They learn that tulips are shaped like little cups.
Peppa sees orchids growing on small branches. These flowers are elegant and come in many colors. Peppa and George are very happy to know the names and features of the flowers. They learn that each flower has its own color and shape. How wonderful!
Peppa and George are playing with a balloon in the park. A strong gust of wind blows the balloon up into the sky. Peppa looks up at the balloon, startled. George points at the sky, following the balloon with his eyes. Peppa and Daddy Pig start running after the balloon, trying to keep up as it flies higher. Peppa and Daddy Pig run across the grassy field, their legs moving quickly. George runs behind, watching the balloon and smiling. Peppa and Daddy Pig spot the balloon caught in a tree branch. Peppa points at the tree, excited to see the balloon. Daddy Pig uses a long stick to try and reach the balloon from the tree. Peppa hops around happily. Peppa and Daddy Pig are happy to have rescued the balloon. Peppa holds the balloon in her hands, smiling. George jumps up joyfully. The pig family sits down together and continues to play in the park. The pig family arrives at a farm to try being farmers for the day. "We're going to be farmers and take care of the plants," Peppa says. Everyone gets ready to start working on the farm. Peppa and George start watering the plants. "I'm going to water the plants so they can grow big and strong," Peppa says. George helps his sister by watering around the garden. Peppa and George begin to pick ripe tomatoes from the garden. "Look, our tomatoes are ready," Peppa says. the pig family continues to pick vegetables and put them in their baskets. After a hard day's work on the farm, the pig family sits down to enjoy the vegetables they just picked. "We can eat what we've grown with our own hands," Daddy Pig says. Everyone enjoys a meal and feels proud of their hard work. After a hard day's work, the pig family sits down to rest. "Being a farmer is fun, but I like playing more," Peppa says. Daddy Pig laughs and says, "Helping on the farm is good, but playing is fun too." The whole family laughs and feels proud of their work. Peppa Pig in the flower basket. The garden in front of Peppa's house, with gentle sunshine. A small basket is placed on the grass. Peppa bends down to look at the basket and smiles. George stands beside her, curiously looking into the basket. Peppa gently picks a flower nearby. Peppa places the flower into the basket. George points to another flower. Peppa and George pick a few more small flowers. The flower basket slowly fills up. Peppa sits down and admires the flower basket. George giggles. Mommy Pig stands nearby, and all three are happy together. Peppa Pig and the mysterious footprints. Peppa and George are running and playing when Peppa suddenly stops and looks down at the ground. On the grass, small round footprints appear, forming a line. George curiously bends down to take a closer look, his eyes wide with wonder. Daddy Pig is watering the plants nearby and hasn't noticed yet. Peppa signals to George, and the two of them follow the footprints. Mummy Pig appears, holding a basket, and smiles when she sees the two children crouching down. The footprints lead to a small puddle in the garden. Peppa and George look around, feeling a little surprised. Peppa and George look down, then look at Daddy Pig. Peppa realizes the footprints are Daddy Pig's, from when he watered the garden earlier. It ends with Peppa and George laughing happily. Peppa and the colorful balloons. Peppa walks into the garden and sees a bunch of colorful balloons. Peppa opens her eyes wide and runs closer. George runs after her, looking curiously at the balloons. Peppa gently touches the balloons. George points at the blue balloon and smiles. Peppa gives one balloon to George. George hugs the balloon and runs around. Peppa throws a balloon into the air. Peppa and George look up, surprised. Daddy Pig comes out and sees the balloons floating high. Daddy Pig holds the balloon strings tightly. Peppa and George jump up happily. Peppa and George play together with a bunch of colorful balloons. The whole family laughs happily.
Peppa Pig and the rolling chair. A normal chair stands quietly in front of the house, or so it seems. As soon as Peppa sits down, the chair begins to move. A small push sends it rolling across the yard. The chair adventure turns into a short and surprising ride. Yahoo! After a little journey, it finds the perfect place to stop. Sometimes, even a chair can bring a tiny adventure.
One clear morning, you and I were still fast asleep. Suddenly, a friend showed up and knocked on the door. Our close friend smiled and said, "Let's go for a walk, you two." Suddenly, a mysterious object began to leak. It turned the white rabbit pink. Luckily, the strange object managed to retrieve the leaking item just in time. What a perfect day for a movie! Peppa and George were happily playing in the park when Peppa suddenly exclaimed, "Oh! There's an outdoor movie screening today." Excited, they ran home to invite Mummy and Daddy to come along. Mummy and Daddy smiled and agreed right away. The whole family quickly got ready and headed to the movie spot. As everyone sat down, the lights dimmed. The projector lit up, and the fun movie began. On a lovely sunny morning, Peppa and George were playing in the park. Peppa was sitting on the swing, watching as George played happily on the slide. Peppa and the Flying Teddy Bear. Peppa hugs Teddy in her bedroom. George runs in with a bunch of balloons. Peppa looks at the balloons, then looks at Teddy, then gets an idea. Peppa lifts Teddy up and smiles happily. Peppa ties the balloons to Teddy. Peppa lets go to Teddy, starts to fly. Peppa and George are surprised and run after Teddy. Teddy floats up and gets stuck on a tree branch. Daddy Pig comes in, stands on a chair, and brings Teddy down.
2 hours later.
Peppa and George jump with joy. The whole family laughs happily. Peppa Pig and Daddy Pig's hat. Daddy Pig sits on a chair in the garden, wearing his familiar hat and holding a glass of water. Peppa and George are playing with a ball nearby. Daddy Pig stands up to water the plants and accidentally leaves his hat on the chair. A gentle breeze blows by, and the hat gently wobbles. Peppa sees the hat and walks over curiously. Huh? Peppa tries on the hat. It's too big and covers her eyes. George giggles. A stronger gust of wind blows through. The hat flies off Peppa's head. Peppa and George run after the hat. The hat lands right in front of Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig bends down, picks up the hat, and puts it back on his head. Peppa and George run over, see Daddy Pig wearing his hat, and laugh loudly.
Hola. Yahoo! Wow! Whoa!
Today, golden sunlight bathes Peppa's garden. A gentle breeze and bird song welcome a truly wonderful morning. Peppa just can't sit still when the bright blue sky calls her outside. Meanwhile, George enjoys building his own little tower. But fun is always better when shared. Before long, the kite is dancing high above, swaying with every gust of wind. Peppa Pig and the ripe apple tree. Peppa spots the apple tree, heavy with ripe red apples. She bounces up and down, reaching as high as she can, but the apples sway teasingly above her, just out of reach. George grabs the tree trunk and shakes it with all his strength. A few apples tumble down with a satisfying thud, but instead of landing in their hands, the apples roll, roll, roll far away. Peppa and George scramble after them, completely out of breath. Exhausted, the two sit under the tree, ready to give up. Suddenly, a gust of wind shakes the branches. One shiny apple drops straight down, rolling right to Peppa's feet. George picks it up proudly, holding it like treasure. Peppa giggles. The two share the apple, munching happily under the tree. Peppa and George are inside the house. Peppa holds a sheet of blue paper. Carefully, she folds the paper into the shape of an airplane. Beep, beep, beep. Peppa makes the sound of a plane taking off. Peppa gives the paper plane to George. George smiles widely. He holds the plane and runs around the room. Whoosh, whoosh! George makes the sound of the plane flying in the air. Peppa claps her hands to cheer on her little brother. George runs near the window. He throws the plane. The plane flies out the window, loops around once, and lands on the green grass in the garden. Peppa and George watch in surprise. Peppa and George run outside into the garden together. They look everywhere for the paper plane. Hooray! Hooray! George shouts when he finds the plane on the lawn. They both pick it up and run back inside the house, laughing happily. It was a bright, breezy morning in Peppa's backyard. As Peppa wandered around, she spotted a colorful umbrella lying forgotten in the corner of the garden. Peppa curiously picked it up, wondering what fun she could have with it. Suddenly, a big gust of wind blew. The umbrella opened wide, lifting Peppa off the ground. She squealed in surprise. Up in the sky, Peppa floated and twirled like a pink bird with a rainbow wing. The wind carried her over the yard, spinning in circles, dipping and soaring. Down below, Mummy Pig, Daddy Pig, and George gasped, then burst into laughter as they watched Peppa's unexpected flight show. The wind slowed down, and Peppa landed gently on the soft grass. Her family rushed over as Peppa waved with a big smile.
Whoa!
The Shimmering Lantern Night. Tonight is a very special evening. Peppa and her friends are getting ready to carry their lanterns. Every lantern has a different shape. Some are fish, some are stars, and some are round and shiny. The twinkling lanterns create a sparkling and magical scene. Oh, Peppa's lantern makes such funny and playful shadows. The little ones giggle as they parade with their lanterns. The air is warm and full of joy. The lantern night ends with laughter and happy memories. A colorful evening for Peppa and her friends. Peppa and the Giant Blue Balloon. Peppa runs into the yard and discovers a giant blue balloon lying on the grass. George taps the balloon lightly. It makes a boing sound that makes him burst into laughter. Daddy Pig is dozing off on the porch. The giant balloon rolls into his foot, waking him for a moment before he falls back asleep. Peppa and George push the giant balloon around the yard, laughing each time it bounces high. Peppa and George keep playing, pushing the balloon back and forth, while Daddy Pig continues sleeping peacefully on the porch. Today is a fun-filled swimming day for Peppa's family. Everyone is excited as they head to the pool for a day of splashing, swimming, and making unforgettable memories together. Everyone steps out from the changing rooms, Peppa and George in their colorful swimsuits. Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig are also ready to relax and enjoy a day by the pool. Everyone is putting on their swimsuits, ready for a fun day at the pool. Daddy begins to blow up the float for his little one. Daddy is blowing up the float for his daughter. Now we can go into the water.
Hey! Hey!
Oh, so it turns out little brother is afraid of the water. 2 sweet cakes. Peppa's sister and Peppa brother were playing happily in the park, running around under the clear blue sky. After a while of playing, both of them started to feel hungry. The 2 siblings decided to go back home to find something to eat. When they arrived, Peppa brother sat down to rest in the living room, while Peppa's sister went into the kitchen. There, she saw 2 delicious-looking cakes and quickly brought them back to share with her brother. The Mud Castle.
Hey! Hey!
Today, the garden is wet and full of soft, squishy mud. Peppa has a wonderful idea to build a mud castle. Piece by piece, the mud pile grows taller and taller. Oh dear, mud is very slippery, and castles are not so strong. Even though the mud castle falls, the fun is still standing tall. Super fun swimming day. Today is a perfect day for swimming. Peppa and her family are all so excited. Oh, there are so many fun pool toys. A float shaped like a watermelon, another like a big donut. How silly and fun! Ha-ha! George's ball decided to go swimming all by itself. What a memorable swim! Everyone is soaking wet, but they're all laughing happily. And that's how Peppa Pig's swimming day ends, with splashes, giggles, and lots of fun.